Hello, everybody. My name is Benny, and welcome to the Fool's Apprentice. Oh my gosh, today marks a big day for me in my tarot journey. It has been 1 year this week that I have been on YouTube and that I've been learning the tarot. And so today I'm going to be discussing things that I learned, things that I regret, and goals for the next year. So this will probably be a little bit longer than normal for me, but I'm really excited to be sharing my experience with you. Um, I'll tell you that I am surprised that I have been doing this for a year and that I've actually learned how to do YouTube videos. I never thought that this old guy would learn how to do something as technical as making a YouTube video. And I will tell you, the journey was difficult in learning how to do a basic video. I was so frustrated in doing it and learning it and trying to figure out what equipment I needed and then having to put it together and learning how to have to edit and learning about memory cards and a camera and a microphone. It was just a lot and it felt too overwhelming sometimes. And there were times where I was thinking, this is too much work. I don't want to do it. But I am glad that I stuck it out. I have really, once I got going, I have really enjoyed the process. And I've had some, ups and downs through this whole year when it comes to making YouTube videos. One of them was that I did find it at the beginning to be really challenging and time consuming. And I did it, I see, August, like for 5 months. And then I took a break. And I wish I knew really why I took that break. I think part of it is I got lazy, to be honest. The other part is I had started a new position at my old job. And it really wasn't a good fit. And it really affected me, holistically. And so I just had to give things up because I found the job very stressful, unrewarding, not very self gratifying. I didn't think I was making a difference. And that really affected my mood. And I wholeheartedly believe that a really good job that you like is very important because work, we spend as adults about a third of our lives at work. And work can have a really direct influence on, how we live the rest of our life, how we interact with family and friends, as well as affect our sleep. If we have a really high anxiety, high pressure job or job we hate, it's going to affect our sleep. And so I decided to leave that position. And when I did, my videos started happening again. So I knew that there was a direct correlation there. But uh, it's not only that. I think part of it is just I started feeling insecure about what I was putting out there. But I'm doing really well right now, and I'm really happy with my progression. And so, what I want to do today is really talk about several things. And I got my notes. So I know what I'm talking about and I don't lose track and I don't forget anything. I even have a couple of other notes, as you can see. So the video is going to be a little longer, but I think that's okay. It's not like I have 100,000 subscribers, or I generally make like videos that are 2 hour long because I don't. So I'm hoping this isn't boring to you, but I learned a lot. And in fact, oh my God, I'll put this at the end. Tips if you want to start a YouTube video. Okay. Or a YouTube channel. I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Okay, so first things first. I bought too many decks. I'm telling you, I bought a gross amount of decks. Like what I have here is not everything I own. I have 3 boxes that are tucked away with decks. And I use them all, and the way I've been able to manage that is that I every third reading I mix my cards and I get another deck, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I have too many decks, and I'm like who has this many decks and within a 12-hour period, a 12-month period? It's too much. However, do I regret it? No. I've only had maybe two decks that I regretted purchasing. And I should have written it down which way they were, but I will in my next video, because my next video I'm going to be going over my tarot cards, and then another video I will be going over my oracle cards, and that's when I'll be discussing the two decks that I didn't like. And one of them I had such a visceral reaction to. I literally dropped the deck, put it in the box, tucked it away somewhere, forgot about it. And I'll give you a little bit more detail about that. But, and I'm going to be counting. I suspect I have, oh my gosh, I'd say about 70, 75 decks. Oh, we'll see how close I am to that. That's too much. Anyway, so that was one thing. Too many decks, too soon, especially being brand new. And it wasn't cheap. And fortunately for me, I have a job that allows me the privilege of being able to buy that many decks. And I know that it's a privilege. It's a luxury for me to buy all these decks. And the reason I buy all the decks is because they're like little art work books, you know, that you buy for a coffee table. I just love going through them. I love how artists are just able to depict the same concept in a very different way with the images. I just think it's amazing. And one thing that I need to do that I haven't done that I kind of regret is I don't have them inventoried. So that is an issue, because sometimes I'll be looking for a deck and I can't find it. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody took it, or I misplaced it, or I lost it. And then I end up finding it. And so I don't need that stress. Now, one of the ways that I do get to use all my decks, as I mentioned, is every 3 days, I switch the decks, or every 3 readings, because sometimes I have to skip a day. But I also have them separated by season, so that way I can ensure that I'm using the decks all the time. And also, I just like the way the cards feel based on the season. And so that really, really works for me. I have noticed that people will have decks that I think are fall decks in the summer and vice versa, which is really interesting to me. But, you know, everybody has their, oh, and then, okay, another thing is I find a lot of decks to be very old lady kind of decks, which I've been very surprised. A lot of people love these decks. And so I think it's, I don't know what it is. And I'm sure there are people who look at my decks and think, "Way, that is way out there. I can't even imagine." And a lot of my decks, I mean, a lot of people have. Otherwise, you know, I don't think they would be made. But I find that I have a very distinct aesthetic when it comes to tarot deck. It's broad, but it doesn't, like, what's I don't like doesn't suit me, is very clear cut. And so maybe I can show some examples during the next video. One of the things that I learned, and this is actually something that I did as a promise to myself, is that I would be very authentic on camera. I don't know if I come across as enjoyable to watch, but I figured I was going to be authentic. I was going to be myself. I was going to not pretend to be anything else as much as I can with a camera in my face and no people around. In addition, I was going to be okay with making mistakes. And so I'd say for the first half of the year, those 5 months, any mistakes that happened, I left them in the video. Now I'm starting to edit a little bit because I find sometimes that I trip over my words. But like, I don't know if anybody wants to see that. Oh my gosh. One of the things that I'm thinking of doing, I have goals that I'm going to be discussing, is, I'm writing it down, I'm thinking of doing bloopers at the end of my videos. I don't know how funny that would be, but I thought, you know, hey, let's give it a go. So let me know what you think, if that'd be something that you think would be enjoyable, is to watch, you know, my bloopers, you know, and I have a lot of them. Um, and at the beginning, I found that I was taking this whole process way too seriously. Like I had these grand ideas of what it was going to be like, how I was going to study, how I was going to make my mark. And I forgot for a while that I needed to have fun. Like I really needed to enjoy the process. And so that is going to be one of my goals uh, coming this next year is to have fun, because I think if I can enjoy it, and I have been since I came back, I've actually been enjoying it a lot more. I'm sure that you've heard me laugh a lot on the videos, and you're probably thinking, like, how can somebody laugh that much making a video all by themselves? I don't know. But I do. I'm enjoying the process a lot more. And I think that is one of the reasons that I've been very consistent when I came back in doing videos twice a week. I try to put them out on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Sometimes I'm off by a day. Saturdays are my recording days. But having fun is going to be an important part of this whole process this next year. And I think that'll go a long way in me being able to find more time to study, more time to do readings. And I think having fun will allow me to retain the information a little bit more. Uh, and I think on top of that is taking it too seriously. I didn't do one thing that I should have done is I should have developed a study schedule or some kind of guideline on how I was going to study. One of the problems that I ran into is one, and this is in retrospect, one is I didn't have a study deck, one deck that I actually just sat and used for study purposes. I think having a deck like that would have gone a long way in me learning the tarot and really, really developing a relationship and getting to know a deck extremely well, which would have helped my growth as a tarot reader. In addition, I have all these books, and so here I am trying to learn, like I'm trying to learn the Fool, so I'm reading like 5 or 6 books. And I think that's good, but I think that would work once I have a foundation of the card, and I can like freely pull information about the card that I've learned. Then adding those layers that I could build upon and getting a really good overview of what the card could mean and how it could apply it to a reading. So that is something I'm going to be modifying within the next 3 to 6 months. So that was a hiccup that I've experienced and I learned about myself. Um, Having a dedicated study space is also going to be very important for me. And I have my video YouTube area. Oops, sorry. Why do I have a 10 a.m. alarm? Why do I have a... Oh, okay, I know why. Um, I have an appointment at 11. I'm really excited about it. And I might as well just tell you now. I was going to put this in my goals for the second year. But I had posted on not Instagram, Facebook, on 2 Facebook pages that I'm on. Um, what questions would I want to ask a tarot mentor or tarot teacher? And so I got a whole bunch of really good questions. And I had an interview last week with a tarot reader, and it went really, really well. And so I have hired this person to help me learn the tarot. It is one of the things that I feel will really go a long way in being able to develop my skills in being a good tarot reader. I feel like I'm talking 100 miles an hour. Oh my God. I need to slow down a little bit. Um, as some of you may already know from my previous videos that you've been following, my mouth gets dry really easily, so I'm always drinking something. And that's not only when I'm doing YouTube videos. But I'm excited about this video, so I think I'm talking way too fast, so I'm going to try to slow it down. So me and this gentleman, we had a 45-minute interview. It went extremely well. I felt confident in his knowledge of the tarot, felt very comfortable with him, and it just felt really easy to talk to him. I didn't feel uncomfortable, and I'm a good interviewer because that was part of my job last time. And so I really asked the questions that I needed to know, which actually could be another video. How on I'm always writing notes on ideas. on how to interview a potential mentor, tarot mentor. So I'll do that video as well. So that's at 11 o'clock. It's my first session. He wanted like, what do you want to study? Like, give me an idea of how you want to work this. And so I gave him 3 bullet points, keep it short and simple, to how I want to work with him. Okay, back. What was it? Oh, dedicated study space. So I have my YouTube space. This is also my space where I practice my spirituality every morning. And I will be doing another video. Oh my God, I got tons of videos I want to do on what it looks like for me in the mornings when I do my spiritual practice. And the tarot and my oracle cards, they are part of my spiritual program. And so I have this space to do videos and to do my spiritual program. But I also realize that I need, and this is probably in the last 2 to 3 weeks, that I need an actual steady space. Luckily for me, I have a second bedroom that's not being utilized. And so I've created a study space in there. And it's where I sit to study, and that's going to be my place where I do that. And so once I get accustomed to that place being my study area, my brain will just instantly fall into that pattern of we need to focus. Another thing that I think my YouTube videos are very basic. You know, I sit in front of a camera, I do YouTube videos, I talk about books. Right now I'm just doing reviews. And I think that's good. I've been able to get the quality of the image or the picture or whatever you want to call it look better. But I just feel very constricted in what I'm able to do. And that's because I don't know how to do a lot. But for what I've been able to do for this year, I think it's okay. And I found what was really important is I didn't have a schedule in doing YouTube videos. So my YouTube videos weren't consistently being put out for y'all to see and watch. And that was like the first half before the break. And then the second half, I decided that I needed to do 2 videos a week, one on Saturday, one on Wednesday. Sometimes they come out on Sunday and Thursday because I'm running late. But 2 videos a week. And so I have made Saturday my recording days, so that way I can get it done. And what I do is I wake up early while Steve's asleep, so I can do my videos without disturbing him, without having him to stay in the other room until I'm done. And I have found that to be very beneficial in being consistent with creating my videos. So setting up a schedule was vital this second time around, because if I didn't, I think I would have fallen off the wayside again. And 2 videos a week seems very manageable. I'm hoping to do 3 and 4 eventually. We'll see how that goes. But I got a couple of things that I'm going to do before that happens. I have found that I really love oracle cards. And what I love about oracle cards is that it allows me to use my intuition with whatever reading I'm doing. It doesn't matter the question. I feel very confident in my ability to read oracle cards. Now, there are people who will say, oh, it's so much easier to read oracle cards than tarot cards because they don't have a system like tarot cards do. Well, in fact, oracle cards really do have a system. You have to actually read the guidebook, I tend to go to the website, try to read as much as I can, and they all individually have their own system. It's just not one universal system. It's very different systems. And so it can be challenging in itself. However, the real thing that I like about oracle cards is that it helped me develop my intuition. Now, I already knew that I had good intuition. Intuition is really what guides me through the day, helps me really make intellectually, that's not really what I wanted to say. It really allows me to take the knowledge that I have with my intuition and make a very clear, sound decision for myself. And that's regarding anything like a new job, a relationship, big decisions that I need to make. So Oracle cards really allowed me to develop that even a lot more. And what I'm going to find beneficial in that for me is that when I start reading tarot cards, well, that intuition will really benefit me when I read the tarot cards. So if you're trying to work on intuition, find some oracle decks that you really enjoy and start using those. I really, really believe that that will really help develop that intuition that you're trying to find because it's worked for me. Uh, if it doesn't work, then you might need to find something else, but it's worth a go. And you don't have to spend a lot of money on oracle cards. Go to Amazon, buy something that you like. Go wait till it's on sale, 15, $20. You got a couple oracle decks. Um, I'm not a very good tarot reader. This is a tarot channel, and I am not a very good tarot reader. Uh, Several of the reasons for that is that I don't know all the cards yet. I still need to use the guidebooks for the cards a lot of times. Now, once I read the information, it comes to me, but they're very short and sweet, and so it I don't feel I feel like I'm missing a lot of the meat and potatoes of the reading itself. I basically have like just I have an appetizer of a reading instead of a main dish. It's the best way I can put it on the spot. So my goal is to really develop my confidence and really start learning how to read tarot in the way it's intended to be read. Um, and so we'll see how that goes in this next year. But that's my goal. One of my goals for this year. Another thing that I find interesting for me, I tend to be a very happy person. I tend to see. I'm very optimistic. I'm very the glass is half full. I'm even like I'm grateful that I have a glass to begin with, kind of a guy. Um, I just really enjoy living. I really do. Even when I have bad days, I really appreciate the life that I get to live. I'm a very, very blessed human being. And so my readings feel like they're skewed to the positive side of a reading. Um, and then also I have readings that are like, be mindful of this because it could lead you down the wrong path. But if you do what you're supposed to do, then you can have a really good outcome. So they're kind of like, you know, warning cards, like be mindful. But never do I get a reading that's like really dark or feels very negative or feels like there's going to be a really dark consequence. I just not had readings like that. And so I don't know if I'm going to be asking today, but I don't know if that's how it goes or not, or if it's just the way how I read. So that's something that I'm going to be exploring a little bit more. So I'd be curious if anybody else has an experience like that where you tend to read and you lean one way over another, or do you find that you have actually a very good mixture? I really would be interested to hear your feedback on that. It would really help me, I think. Oh, okay. I did kind of mention that my readings tend to be quite short. I really want to develop the skill of being able to tell a really good story in reading the cards. Really be able to expand on the meanings of the cards individually based on where they are in the spread, how they correlate with one another, and how the whole message kind of develops. I'd like to be able to create kind of a story kind of reading. Um, I think that would be really wonderful. It'd also be very engaging for the person that is getting the reading. I'd like to be able to have a reading that lasts more than 30 seconds to a minute. I'd like to be able to do a reading that kind of really lasts a while, so people feel like their time that they're investing is worthwhile. And I know that there's ways to be able to incorporate additional questions as you're doing the reading with the client, but learning how to be a good storyteller is something that I want to be able to develop. Uh, Now, I have found a tarot spread that I'm really comfortable with. It's a 3 card spread. However, what I do is I have an oracle card that I place in the middle, and then I have 2 tarot cards that I place on the side. And I do them in different ways. Sometimes I'll just ask a general question and I'll read from left to right. Sometimes the oracle card will be the underlying message or the overarching message, which are very different for me. It also can be the focal point for the day or the week, and then the cards on the side tend to kind of guide me in accomplishing it. Recently, I saw a video from Lisa Papez on the middle card being the goal for the day, the left card being what can get in the way, and the right card saying, like, what can I utilize to be successful? And I've really enjoyed that reading. But 3 card spreads right now tend to be very comfortable for me, and they really give me a really quick reading. I try to do them every morning, Monday through Friday. I take the weekends off so I could, do all of this other stuff. So the 3 card readings, I think, allows me to stretch my mind and force me to kind of look at a big picture, but not so much that I feel overwhelmed, it gets muddled, and I'm just completely lost. So that's been working for me. So that's that. And what I do is I pull my cards, and then I have some charms. I have this beautiful little case, but I have some charms that I started. I'm going to start learning how to do charms. Why? I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do. Excuse me. And so I'll place some charms around. I got some stones and crystals that I put up, and then I take a picture. I do my reading. I sit and meditate with it, and then I post it on to Instagram with like 3 to 5 sentences, just very sweet and short. And it's my way to be on Instagram, learn Instagram. It's also, it's like a diary. It allows me to go back and read and just look at the cards and the decks that I've been using and what kind of readings I've been having. So it's also a way to record my readings. And I had mentioned that I have way too many decks. But one thing I like to do is I like to look at them. I like to see what I got. And so I knew that I wanted to display them. And so I had kind of think like, how do I want to display them? And shelving came up for me in my mind, but I wanted something open and spacious, nothing with doors. So I went on Amazon and I looked and I found these shelves, which I really, really like a lot. And let me do this real quick. So as you can see, it has 2 doors. Let me see. Oh, maybe you can't see it as well because it's dark. I got 2 doors here, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, and I bought 2 of them. So I got 2 of those, and I just love them. I love them a lot. Okay, let's see if I can get this to say. Okay, I really love them, and so I really appreciate the decks that I have. So I want them on display. One of the things I try to do is I try to put my favorites or the ones that I've been really, really wanting up near the top, the ones that I really like, and then the other ones are spread below. And I do the same thing with Oracle decks. So that's how it's like artwork. I just like seeing them. And then one of the things that I do to ensure that I get the opportunity to work with all the decks is I separate them by season. So these are my summer spring decks. And then in 3 boxes, I have my fall winter decks. So when fall comes around, probably the mid to end September, all these decks, except for my unicorn decks, and I'll do a video on those unicorn decks, except for those, will be replaced. My unicorn decks will always be displayed because they were hard to get. I spent good money on them, and so they need to be out. Okay, so I have a few regrets that, and not many really, but that 6 months where I didn't do any videos, that's really a big regret for me. I wish I hadn't. I wish I would have been able to push through. But during that time, I had just lost all interest and desire to do anything else because of the job that I had. It really took a lot of my energy. It really just weighed me down. And I couldn't. I just couldn't. And I think in this year, I think that's like my biggest regret is that I didn't push through because I really do enjoy doing these videos. I think they're fun. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I don't have a lot of views on my videos. In fact, when I did those first 5 months, I had up to 309 views on one video. I had a few that went, maybe 3 or 4 that went over 200, which was very exciting for me. But since I've come back, you know, I might get into the 30s every once in a while. The last video I did so far has only 10 views. And I will tell you that does feel a bit disappointing to me because I really would like more people to watch. But I also know that I'm new and it's going to take time. And it may never happen where I get several hundred people to subscribe. But I'm doing this for me as well. And so I'm going to continue to do this because it's something that I really do enjoy. But that's a regret. Another regret I have is I just bought too many decks. I mentioned it before, but that is a regret. I wish I was a little more mindful about the decks that I was getting. But I was so excited to, and this happens to me, I get really excited about something and then I throw myself in it. And a lot of times I lose interest very quickly, but fortunately tarot is not one of them. But I got too many decks. And I don't know if I'll ever get rid of decks that I've bought, except for the ones that I can't really stand. But I'm gonna have to be more picky. I spent way too much money, but for me that's not really the issue. The issue is like, can I really use all these decks? So we'll see. That is gonna be a journey that will play itself out in the next 2 or 3 years. Interestingly enough, the tarot mentor that I'm going to be working with, he says he has only 20 decks. That's all he needs because he knows them extremely well, and therefore he can do readings just very fluently with these decks. And I found that very intriguing, but I can't see myself coming down to 20 decks. I can't. What do I have here? Oh man, glasses. I don't know what that says. I do not know what that says. Okay, so those are the big regrets. And so, things I learned. That really, when I look back at the last year, as excited as I was about the tarot, I really didn't make it a priority. Because if I did, I think I would know a lot more of the cards than I do now. And so this year, this next 12 months, I am making learning the tarot a priority. It's one of the reasons I ended up hiring a mentor, because I need guidance, because I'm all over the place. As I mentioned, I got too many books, too many cards. I need to really, really focus. And so I learned that I didn't take it seriously, and that needs to change. I had no structure, no schedule. And so I learned that not having that really was a barrier in learning the tarot. What I really need to do is face it like I did grad school, where everything was very structured. Everything had a timeline. Everything was marked in my calendar. And so I need to approach the tarot in the same way, because really what it is I'm basically learning a brand new language. And I have learned a language before. I'm very fluent in sign language. And so I know the dedication and time that it needs to be able to learn a language. And so that's what I'm going to have to do with this. Um, oh, uh, Fear of missing out or something like that. FOMO. Fear of missing out. So I bought some decks that I probably wouldn't have bought. I didn't think I'd be one of those people that would have FOMO, but evidently I am, because I have a handful of decks that I probably could have waited buying, but I was afraid of missing out, like they were going to sell out or something. So I got some decks. So I am one of those people. um, I learned how to make YouTube videos, and I will tell you, I'm really excited about that. That I actually learned how to, like, I did two things this year that I thought were impossible for me. One was I built my own website for a business, and it came out beautifully. I did everything. I picked the pictures, I did the copyright, I did the links, everything. It looks amazing. Second is I do YouTube videos. Like, I never thought that I'd be like, I've done a couple of things before, but never like this. Never with. I used a phone. It was very simple. It was horrible. But to do this, I thought was great. So I got a lot more confidence in my ability to do technical things. Uh, I like oracle cards more than tarot cards. And I think it's because it just fits me a lot better right now compared to tarot cards, and I have more confidence in it. But I think as the tarot becomes part of my language, I think that may shift. Uh, oh, let me tell you, I cannot tell you the benefits I've gotten from watching other YouTubers. They have really taught me a lot about the cards, a lot about the meaning, a lot about being authentic on camera, the types of videos that they make. I only have two types of videos. Really, I think I only have one type of video, which is reviews. So I need to expand, and which I'll talk about in a minute. So watching other YouTubers has been invaluable as a tarot student. It has really provided me with like some of the knowledge that I need about tarot, some of the history, the different ways. This is what I really liked, is that people read tarot very differently, which really frees me up to know that when I get a hang of this, I'll have my own way of reading, and it's right because it's right for me. So I really like that. And there's other benefits, but I'm going to do a video on my favorite YouTube uh, channels. So stay tuned for that. Another video. And so, what are my goals? So my goals, I have several goals actually, probably way too many, but I think some of them will just happen. I'm trying to get my little paper to sit. Okay, so by the end of this 12 months, I want to know all the cards. I want to be able to flip a card over and know at a very base level what the card means. I want to be able to flip it and know what it is. What I want to know with a major arcana is, like, when I pull a major arcana deck, I want to know where it lies in the 22 cards. I want to know what the cards before it are and the cards after. So that's goal number one. I want to create more dynamic YouTube videos. So just not sitting here in front of you. Actually, I'd like to be able to make some B-roll and show different things that are happening in this video. So that way it's just not me sitting here in front of you talking. I think a lot of videos are like that, but I want to add, other images or other clips to make it more dynamic. I'm working with a tarot mentor. I decided last week when I was thinking about the second year that I really do need a mentor. I really do need somebody that I could sit and have immediate feedback from. I have done, Lisa Pup has this tarot on training wheels, which is absolutely free on her channel. Highly recommend it. And I've done Lisa Kelly from Truth and Story. I did one of her courses. It was 5 weeks long. Let me tell you, best money I spent on tarot, a tarot course. $75. You get 5 weeks, and it's like it's over 2 hours long, sometimes a little longer. And then you get to keep the videos for life. So, I mean, that was great. But I feel that I really do need someone that can help me really learn the cards, learn a little bit more than I probably would on my own, and help give me feedback, because eventually I'm going to want to do readings in front of the mentor, and I want feedback to see if it kind of correlates, or they can kind of see if what I'm seeing. Another thing that I want to do, I want to do a series. I want to do a couple of series. I want to develop my own series that nobody else has. And so that's, I have to think about that. I haven't sat down and tried to come up, brainstorm for it, but I want to develop my own personal series. There are several people that have, like, I think Lisa's is called Hot Takes, on decks that are coming out. Other people have, there's this one YouTuber, oh, I forget her name right off the bat, starts with an F. She's going through various countries and the decks that come from those countries, which I think is very ingenious. So you get to see the influence from that region. So I want to develop my own. I also want to focus on one deck. Like I told you, I've been rotating decks quite a bit, which I don't think in the long run has benefited me in learning the tarot cards. So with Dawn Michelle's book, where is it at? Connecting with the Tarot, I have picked my deck, and I did a video on it, which is the Theta Volatile, to study. And I'm going to be using that deck with my mentor. We talked about decks as well, and he says that one will work because I really want to learn the Rider-Waite-Smith system. And so he said that's a really good deck as well to utilize. So for the next 3 to 6 months, starting tomorrow, the only deck that I will be utilizing for tarot readings in the morning and to study will be the Tarot Volatile. I really think I need to invest on one deck. I'll still be using my Oracle cards probably for an evening reading, but all these cards, they're going to be on hold. I'll still do reviews, but I'm not going to be utilizing them for anything else other than that. So I'll be doing that this year. I'm hoping, I don't know if this is even possible. I think I have 67 followers. I haven't had anybody add. I haven't had anybody else subscribe. But I want to reach 500. That would be a nice goal for me. If I could get 500 subscribers, oh my God, that would be amazing to me. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Help me reach that goal. It would be such a great goal for me. I wonder, so that means I'm going to do the math. Let's see. That means 500 divided by 12. 500 divided by 12. 41 people a month to subscribe. That sounds like a lot, but I'm going to keep it at 500. So if you know other people that might want to subscribe or might find my content interesting, wants to see me grow as a tarot reader and see where it takes me, please ask them to subscribe. Okay, enough about that. I want to have a guest on my show. I would actually like to have someone who's popular on YouTube to come on to have a discussion about anything that they want to discuss. I also want to be able to ask questions that I've always wanted to ask a popular YouTube person. And so probably in about 6 months, I'll be reaching out and see if anybody would be willing to be on my channel. I think that would be a lot of fun as well. Oh, so right now what I'm doing is I'm working with an artist because I want to have my own, it's kind of like branding, I guess. I want to have my own image um, start my YouTube videos. And so I have an idea of what that image is going to look like. You might get an idea based on the my YouTube channel, The Fool's Apprentice. Uh, but I kind of want to step it up a little bit. And so that'd be one of the ways is being able to have some kind of branding image that shows you my personality and what the channel's about. I'm gonna have to stop buying so many decks. Like I said, it's ridiculous how many decks I got in the last year. I mean, I could, but I don't think it would serve a really good purpose. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really looking out for decks that really speak to me, just not the ones that I like aesthetically. I still do Kickstarter. I got like 3 things that are coming in, but you know, less decks this year. By like, I want to reduce it by like 70%. So we'll see how that goes. Also, I have some unicorn decks that are out there somewhere that I want. My goal is to find 2 of them. I think I might be able to get one that I'm really excited about. But I'll let you know. That'll be another video, my unicorn decks. Maybe y'all can help me find them eventually, but I want to be able to find 2 unicorn decks in the next 12 months. I think that's a good goal. Oh, now, I'd say once I start working with a mentor and I got some time under my belt, I want to start doing free readings. And so there are a couple of places here. I live in San Antonio, Texas, that I could actually do readings for free that allow me the opportunity just to get used to reading and develop that experience and that know-how and really work on developing how to tell a story and reading the cards. So that's another goal that I have. I need to learn how to use Final Cut Pro. It improved the quality of my videos. I don't look so orange compared to my earlier videos. It helps with audio quality and picture quality. So that's another goal, is slowly just do 3 or 4 things that I think would help in making my videos look much nicer. And I have an aesthetic that I want. I just don't know how to achieve it. So I might even have to hire somebody to help me. But that's another one. I'm thinking, so I think I talked about this earlier. Yes, I did, about bloopers. So I want to add bloopers at the end of my videos. I already asked you to give me feedback on that. And my last goal for the year is just to have fun in this whole process. Like I said, there were times that I was taking it too seriously. I just want to have a lot of fun. I want to enjoy this whole thing, because what's the point? What's the point of doing all of this, using these cards, if I'm not having fun? And if I'm having fun, then you can possibly have fun. If I'm enjoying doing readings, then you're going to enjoy the experience of having a reading. So, having fun will also be one of those main priorities for me. Oh my gosh. We have come to the end of my video. So that is what's been going on in the last year. That's been my experience. I can't believe it's been a year. It really blows my mind. Time passes very slowly, but very quickly at the same time. So I'm going to keep my goals, they're right here, for the year. And I'm going to mark them off little by little and see how many I actually get to accomplish when I make my 2-year on Tarot YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please put them below. I will answer all of them. And until next time, I'm the Fool's Apprentice. Bye.